If you ever know how in my feelings I am, based on some of the recent conversations I've had about dating, yeah, it's real. Welcome to your Millennial Unfiltered Mother podcast, aka Your M.U.M podcast. I'm your host, Christiana, and we've got so much important stuff to dive into today. Well, I have got so much stuff to dive into today as I'm here alone. But yeah, as I was saying earlier, like, especially like the past couple of weeks, I've been involved with so many conversations with so many different women, in particular, just about our dating lives, what's going on in, single worldom and what everybody's up to, if there's any updates in everyone's life and everything. And a particular subject kept coming up, and that was dating outside of your race. Now, I feel all types of ways about this, right? And I'm going to get into that because I have my own personal experiences, and that's all I can speak to, really, my own experiences, and then just sort of speak about it from my point of view and how I tend to see things, look at things, and things like that. So firstly, I want to start with something that my sister showed me. It's a comment from someone on Instagram. I think her mention is Hypogamous Hive. Give her a follow. She writes a lot of interesting things for females. And this, what my sister showed me, actually really just sort of piqued a lot in me, and I want to share it on this podcast. And I want to talk about a few things that she has said on here. So I'm going to read it out, and yeah, we'll get into it. My thoughts on this aren't complicated. Date and marry the best suitor for the job. Interracial children and marriages are on the uptick, and they aren't going anywhere no time soon. Both black men and black women are dating and marrying outside of their race. So race loyalty is a fantasy. But with that being said, most black men are conditioned to have a 50-50 mindset. Are there some black men who will provide 100%? Sure, but they are truly unicorns, especially if they are under the age of 35. Now, I know that most black women aren't open to dating and marrying outside of their race, but black women have some serious dilemmas and choices and decisions to make because time waits for no one, and your black king who has the means to provide a throne may never appear. I don't advocate swirling for swirling's sake because other races of men can be dusty trash as well. However, I am an advocate of being a feminine woman and dating intelligent, high-caliber, six-figure and millionaire men, no matter the race. So if you truly want to break the generational curse, you have to get away from dusty men who only offer dust. I love black men, but they are also the same men that will call a man a simp for providing. The year 2020 is around the corner. How long are you willing to wait for your black king? And that's literally what she wrote. Now, I don't know this person. I have, my first experience of her was this caption that was sent to me. And honestly, while I was reading it for the first time, I was like, listen. I was agreeing with most of what she was saying. So I'm going to go into like a couple of bits, yeah. Date and marry the best suitor for the job. I could not agree more, yeah. I could not agree more. Like, you need to know what you're looking for. You need to know what you want out of life. You need to know what you want out of a partner. Do you understand? Yeah. Long gone, for me, yeah, let me talk about me. Long gone are the days where I'm like, yeah, I'm going to ride or die for my man. Yeah, the hustle, I'm going to help him hustle. Nah. Yeah. Long gone are those days. when I was younger and, in school, college and all that, yeah, that's fine. Do you know what I mean? Because we're all still finding our feet. That's why we're here in education. We're trying to learn, we're trying to grow, we're trying to do what we need to do to get where we need to go. So the hustle from that age makes sense. Yeah. I'm now 32. Which kind of hustle are you still hustling? And I'm speaking about men in general. Do you know what I mean? I just personally, and you know what? It happens, It happens, And listen, if I'm not a clear example of that thing happening, I don't know who is. Because when I was 26, I had life-changing surgery and my career had to completely change. It had to completely change. I could not have seen it coming. I couldn't have, predicted that was going to happen, but it did. And I had to completely change my entire, start from scratch, a whole nother life, literally. So I get it. Do you understand? But I'm talking about what I am looking for in a partner. That's what I'm not talking about me. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about what I'm looking for. And I'm sorry, at the moment, if you're talking about who I'm looking for someone who is happy in their job, yeah, and not just sort of coasting by, yeah, they've got a great salary, they've got this setup, they've got that setup, but they're just unhappy. You're a midlife crisis just in waiting. I'm not having it. You need to be, well established in what you love, and you need to enjoy what you do. It needs to feed into your passion. It needs to feed into, who you are and stuff like that. Yeah, that might be a bit deep, but honestly, if we're talking facts, if we're just about to go deep, this is what I'm after in a man, because there's more security. It just feels a bit more secure. It feels a bit more stable when he is happy in life. Do you know what I mean? He just needs to be happy in life. So, cool. I'm dating on these dating apps. I'm not on there now, but when I was, on these dating apps, and one of the first questions I'm asking is, what do you do? Do you like what you do? Do you know what I mean? I have to ask these kinds of questions, because it's like, if you don't, what are you doing? Do you know what I mean? So in terms of dating especially, yeah, dating the best suitor. Don't be wasting your time dating people who do not fit even just a certain few criteria. Yeah. Don't go on that first date if specific things that you will not compromise on are not there. Do you know what I mean? If you want somebody black, yeah, let's have it right. If you want somebody black, or if you want somebody white, if you want somebody Asian, if you want somebody anything, don't go on no date with no one else then. Don't waste your time. Don't waste no one else's time. Do you know what I mean? That is it. Yeah. As long as certain criteria from the off, yeah, is checked, then we can start talking about going on dates. I'm not dating you from when I already know, this isn't going to work. Why am I going to waste your time? Why am I going to waste my time? So I definitely agree with date who is the best suitor. Don't just be dating aimlessly. Have purpose. And it's the same with marriage. It's the same with marriage. Because some people will just be in these long-term relationships and they literally don't even see a future. See it. But it's convenient for them now. It avoids them being lonely now. And then they just end up marrying this person because it's who they know. It's what they're used to. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, what kind of life are you setting up for yourself? You know, what it is that you're after is out there. You just have to just stop wasting your time with the people who do not tick these very important boxes, and go and find somebody who do tick this box. And you need to look at yourself as well. You're looking for this one that ticks this box, this box, this box, this box, and you're not willing to compromise. But that person that has all those attributes that you're looking for, that person that has all these things that you're like, yep, which boxes of theirs are you ticking? Which boxes of theirs are you ticking? Before you have all these high caliber criteria, he needs to be 7'9". He needs to have 8 figures. He needs to have some next inch thing. He needs to have Cool. Aim for what you want. That is basically what I'm saying. But what about you now? If he's saying she needs to be boom, 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 are you sure you'll be the one ticking those kind of boxes? Like, come correct before you start telling someone else to come correct. And that's that's a word. If I ain't heard a word, this caption or this comment or whatever you want to call it, I think it's a caption, goes on to say, both black men and black women are dating and marrying outside of their race. So race loyalty is a fantasy. That I agree with. I agree with it because I do it. Yeah. I date outside of my race. And I have done pretty much my entire dating career. Like, not all the time. Come on. All I'm saying is I've dated both black men and non-black men. Yeah. I'm just sipping on this wine, honey, because I'm about to get real. So, race loyalty, okay. In my 20s, in particular, no, I didn't have any race loyalty. I didn't have any race loyalty. That just wasn't a thing for me. Now, that is possibly because of, my job and my surroundings. I wasn't around that many I was around some black people, yes. I was working with quite a few black people, yes. But they were my colleagues and they were of different age groups and they were already married or single, not, I weren't their type or they weren't my type, all kinds of reasons, yeah. But my surroundings took me to various different countries. I was around various different types of people, but the majority of them were not black. Yeah, let's have it all the way right. Yeah. So, no, I didn't have any race loyalty. I was still very much who I was. None of my blackness, if you will, was ever sort of taken away, was ever sort of, challenged. Nah, I am who I am, and I've always been who I am. Do you know what I mean? And people that are close to me, people that are not even close to me, can attest to that. Yeah, but when it came to dating, I wasn't like, nah, man, you need to be black. Nah, man, you need to be Nigerian. Nah, man, no. I didn't care what you were. You just needed to have something about you. So yes, in my 20s, I can honestly say, no, I didn't have any race loyalty. I didn't. That has changed more recently. Over like the last couple of years, actually. I have, you could say I'm slightly more woke. You could say that actually, because I am. But more than that, I have a child with a Nigerian man. My child is fully Nigerian. And that's a factor as well. After I had him, it was like, okay, right, who am I about to date? Because I'm not about to have some mixy house. Do you know what I mean? That was literally something that I actually thought. Do you know what I mean? And I kind of thought, it's not a possibility now because I have a fully, black Nigerian child. And just to eliminate sort of confusion, just keep it, simple. And that was, in my head for quite a while. So when I was dating, I was like, okay, narrowing the search down, black, this certain age, bang, bang, bang. I will narrow it down. I don't want to know. Do you know what I mean? Because I literally just was only just like, okay, black person. Then I thought, nah, sod that, because, I'm not doing myself any favors. This isn't really me. So then I was dating both black and white, you know what I mean? But I was more keen to go on the dates with the Nigerian guys that I met, out or met on dating apps. I would give them more of my time, more of my attention. I would probably just agree to go on a date with them simply because they were Nigerian. That was pretty much it. I was willing to give them more of a chance. No matter how ridiculous they, they turned out to be, I would just be like, look, don't worry about that. That's fine. Nobody's perfect. Don't worry about that. Listen, I had issues with all of them. Do you know? And it's not even just some small issue. One was told me he was in the middle of the divorce. No, he was not in the middle of no divorce. Do you know what I mean? He was just speaking out. He had no business being on a dating app, basically. Yeah, I'm not about to expose no one. Another one lied, lied about his age by like 10 years. And it's like, what? Like, seriously, what are you doing? How do you not even think that this was not going to be found out? Like, how did you think that we was going to come and meet and I wasn't going to be able to tell that you were completely lying about your age? Do you know? And he told me 3 different ages. It's like, okay, I don't have time for you. You know, you've got another one who is just disrespectful, like rude, you know, and our conversations, you know, he's saying, look, he basically was just like, look, if you don't submit, I ain't got time for you, is basically what he was trying to say. Like, and it's like, these are the people that I'm giving the most time, energy, responses to. So I wasn't doing myself a favor by being loyal. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't doing myself a favor. So then I was full scrap that again. So now I'm now dating outside of my race again. Do you know what I mean? And the one who I've been speaking to the most, the one who I'm like seeing, is a man who is not of my race. And that's it. Do you know what I mean? As much as I tried to listen, peeps, I resisted more than he will even know. I tried to resist. I tried to be like, he's not black. He's not Nigerian. It's not going to work simply because of that. He ticks every other box, or most of them anyway, but that one. And that was the one that I was like, do you know what I mean? And it was like, you know, I got over it. I got over it quickly because I was not about to let somebody who could potentially be really good for me go because of the colour of his skin. Now, one thing that people need to do when they are dating outside of their race, I will advise, right, is very early on, find out if this is just a fetish for them. Men know how to fetish. Listen, the amount of people who have approached me, mainly on dating apps, and the first thing they'll say to me is, I only date black women. I'm only interested in black women. You know, and this is like, in particular, white or Asian guys who will say this. I'm already put off because why did you feel the need to say this? Do you know what I mean? Immediately, I think you're just fetishizing, and I don't have time for that. I don't have time to be someone's fetish. Do you know what I mean? Because that ain't something that's going to last. You understand? It's not something that makes sense. So it's long. If you're coming at me with, oh, I only date black women, or just, you know, just a certain stupid little statements, or just things about hair, just things about just random things. It's like, just come from me, man, because I ain't got time for this. Do you know what I mean? This is not how you start a conversation. Do you know what I mean? So be mindful of those who are literally just fetishizing. Just, you know, be very mindful. Yeah, cool, they're outside your race, that's fine, but just be mindful of those things because those things do exist. Do you know what I mean? And be mindful of the level of intelligence. They need to know that, you know, there's just certain things you do, don't do, say, don't say. And even if they are sort of tiptoeing about little things, be mindful of that as well, because it's like they clearly cannot see past just your colour. You know, they it's just not going to work. There's always just going to be this elephant in the room, and it's long. But yeah, look, race loyalty for me, you know, has it was a thing for all of 5 minutes, and then I longed it off again. Sorry, like it is just what it is. You know, I understand it. I understand it fully. You know, and that's great. But just in my own personal experiences, things just haven't worked out as great as I wanted them to, as great as I expected it to as well. You know, and that is just what it is. I'm not blocking my blessings because of somebody's race. Like, please tell me where that makes sense. Anyways, this caption moves on to say, and this is where I agree 1,000%. Most black men are conditioned to have a 50-50 mindset. Are there some black men who will provide 100%? Sure. but they are truly unicorns, especially if they are under the age of 35. I agree with this 100%. Yeah. I'm under 35. Right. And, I know, several black men, whether they're related, whether they're my friends or whatever. And some of them have actually had to pull up on the things that they say just when they're speaking about women, when they're speaking about, dating, their own dating lives. And it's like, it is gut-wrenching. It is gut-wrenching. Some of these things that, some of these guys are saying. And it's like, no, please don't be one of those types. Call me a traditionalist. Call me submissive. Call me what you want to call it, yeah? I believe that a man should be a provider. Look, when you talk about what I'm attracted to, yeah, alpha men, providers, protectors, just look, let's stop all this 50-50 rubbish. I don't agree with it. I'm not doing it. It's not 50-50 nothing. Yeah? I mean, look, you need to be a provider. Stop trying to lighten your load onto me. Allow it. And you know what? A lot of black men do that. That is very true. She did not speak one word of a lie in that part, yeah? They do that. It's all share. Share what? And that's a new generation thing as well. Look, growing up, my dad was responsible for all of it. Yeah? All of it. And that is that is what I grew up and saw. Even in all the families that were in church and all the families, I saw, look, the dad, the uncle, the man of the house was in charge of all of it. And I'm sorry, that is it. That is how I see it. It's just how I see it. My mum will be in Brixton Market every Saturday buying up the place and meat, providing for her family. Do you know what I mean? She was doing all our hair. She was doing everything. And that is what pretty much her salary contributed to. That kind of stuff. And that's cool. That makes sense. But when it came to the big grocery shop at the end of the month, my dad was there. We had two free trolleys filling it up. And when it came to the big massive shopping, yeah, that was my dad. But the weekly Brixton Market meats and all that, yeah, that's my mum. I just kind of feel like the man needs to be a provider. There isn't any... Look, when I'm looking for someone, yeah, yes, you do need to be at a certain sort of level in life. I wouldn't have said that in my 20s. I would not have said that in my 20s because, I was just a different person then. I had a different way of thinking then. I was all about, the 50-50. Yeah, I'm independent. Yeah, I can, provide for myself. Yeah, I can do all this. Like, I was chatting that rubbish, listening to these nonsense songs who had me gassed. Do you know what I mean? I was there as well. I am a different person now. I'm a grown-ass woman. More certain about what I truly want and what I feel is right. And, what attracts me are alpha men who have that, traditional sort of way of thinking and doing things and living. Do you know? None of this 50-50. No. And that might sound like you're, what's the word that, you're finessing. It might sound like you're, do you know what I mean? So but this is a new generation way of thinking. The fact that you want a man to provide for his family, provide, for his home and do all of that stuff, now all of a sudden I'm a finesser. That's what this new generation has got everybody thinking. And it's not right. It's just not it. It ain't it. That's not it. Yeah? So some women feel like they have to provide for themselves. They have to, contribute 50-50 so that they don't look like they're finessing, so that they don't look like they're whatever. But it's like, nah, man. All these guys are just getting watered down to believe that they don't have to do as much as they're supposed to do. When no, yes, you are. Look, I've been, independent for a very long time. I know how to be independent. I know how to do it. It's not hard. Well, actually, it is. I'll take that completely back. It is hard, but I do it and I've done it. But that doesn't mean that because I know how to do it, now you just expect me to keep, doing 50-50. Nah, sorry, bruv. You are the provider. You are the man of the house. You are the man of the household. You are the provider. You're the one that's meant to be doing the brunt of the work there and providing. Like, I'm sorry, that is just what you're supposed to do. Now, when I say providing, I'm not saying give me Gucci this, Louis that. People with sense will know that I'm talking about you look after your household. Do you know what I mean? You take care of your responsibilities. Of course, I'll be doing my bit. My bit being raising our children, looking after the home, doing my own bit. Because look, I'm a worker naturally. I'm always gonna have my own little hustles. So don't worry about me just sitting there living lavish, leisurely like I ain't got things to do. Oh, I'm always gonna have things to do, but just don't make that think that you think that you can just be like, yeah, let's share this load. No, be a man and take care of your responsibilities. That's how I see it. Listen, that caption weren't lying. And they are truly unicorns, because I'm hearing too many people, especially of my generation, this sort of under 35s, like she said, are talking that kind of rubbish about sharing. And I'm just like, nah, I don't know about all that. I just don't know about all of that. For honest blog posts about single and co-parenting, tips and advice on kids' style and recipes, head over to notestomymamablog.com. And to see me and mine living our daily lives with vlogs and some mummy hacks, head over to my YouTube channel, search Notes to My Mama, and you'll see us there. Listen, I'm in my feelings with this caption. She's just triggering so many things. And look, I can only speak to my personal experiences and what I believe. Yeah. And you can't even tell me I ain't speaking facts. Okay, you can, but this is my truth. My truth. The rest of what she said pretty much speaks to, look, you can sit down and wait for your black king, to come and, and do all of that stuff. But you're doing yourself a disservice by not, opening up your mind and opening up, just seeking other options. I personally believe you're doing yourself a disservice by just being sort of one-track minded. You don't know until you try. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that is it. I have some friends that will tell you, full face tell you, that I don't like black men because they have never seen me with one. And it's so untrue and so annoying when people say that, because it's like, what are you talking about? My first boyfriends, all my early relationships in my life, they were black men. They were black men. Do you know what I mean? And, they speak of some of the guys that they may have seen me sort of flirting with or talking to when we were out, I don't know. But, I don't know why I do know why they say it, but at the end of the day, I date who I attract and who attracts me. Does that even make sense? Look, if I'm feeling you, I'm dating you. It's not no long thing about it. At the end of the day, that's it. Like I said, I really tried, and I started to believe that. Look, do I want to raise mixed race children? I honestly asked myself that, and I asked that, and I was like, don't know if I can. How do you raise mixed race children? Do you know what I mean? There's always just going to be this culture clash. I don't know. Maybe I need to start speaking to some of my mixed race friends. I got a good few of them. Yeah. And one side tends to be the more dominant, I've noticed, with my mixed race friends. One side is always the more dominant than the other. Yeah. And that could be because, of their influences growing up, their friends and whatever. But I just kind of feel like, look, I see mixed race people as black. I've had so many conversations with like my sister especially about this, and she's like, no, mixed race people are mixed race. There's black and then there's white. Like all this meshy. No, like they are who they are. And I really honestly just see them as black because it's how society sees them. It's how a lot of them see themselves. So therefore, that's what they are. That's literally my that's my thoughts on it. Do you know what I mean? I just automatically see them as black. That's it. Do you know what I mean? And so with me, I just kind of feel like, you know, how will I do it? How will I go about it? But you just don't know until you're there, basically. Like I said, the guy that I'm dating now is a white man at the end of the day. And I don't date aimlessly. I don't date aimlessly. I'm always looking for certain things in somebody. And if I continue to date them, it's because I see a future. It's because I see, a future and I see potential at the end of the day. And I do think about these things because I always let the people that I'm seeing know, look, I'm a woman who is all about kids, who's all about big family. And that's just kind of what I want. It's just something that I would never change my mind about. They know that from the off. So, of course, if I do continue to start seeing him, things like that are obviously on the table. There's something to think about. And I just kind of feel like, okay, how will I explain this? How will it go? How will it work? Because we're both very strong in our cultures. I see it as a good thing. You're going to be very strong in two cultures. But then I'm always concerned about, from what I see with my mixed race friends, one is going to be the more dominant. And I just don't want the other one to kind of feel like their culture and their influence has not really played a role in this person's, upbringing. You know what I mean? So I'll worry about things like that. And, it's something to think about. But at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is this, yeah? Be very certain and sure of what you want in a partner, yeah? Just be certain. And if it is somebody of that's the same race as you, listen, go for it. Go for it, because if you try to date outside your race and you're just not feeling it, you're always just going to see them as, not black. And it's not fair on them. But then if you just settle, just because this person is black and that's it, that's all it took, you're not going to be doing yourself any favors. Don't block your blessings. Do you understand? Just be open-minded, but be very, very, very sure about what boxes you can't compromise being ticked. Do you know what I mean? So, listen, that caption literally just made my life. She spoke passionately, and I followed her immediately on Instagram. Hypogamous Hive is her @ if you want to give her a follow. But yeah, I'll leave this one here today. I just wanted to sort of jump on here and talk about my thoughts on it. And if you have certain thoughts on it, if you want to come up here and have a little chat with me about anything, drop me an email on yourmumpodcast@gmail.com. And I will be glad to have you on. Thank you so much, guys, for listening, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye.